We all have to remember paying off a driver to end a contract early is a last resort for any Formula One team and is not a decision taken lightly, especially when the alternative is to sign a rookie. When Mclaren concluded it was better to replace Daniel Ricciardo with Oscar Piastri for 2023, it came at a financial cost and riled up different factions. Ricciardo's fans for starters, but also Piastri's then employer Alpine. Signing any rookie is a risk, and there's an argument that picking Piastri embraces quite a big one. Mclaren is banking on him to succeed where Ricciardo failed, to deal with the demands of a competitive and historically significant team that brings high expectations, to cope with being Norris's teammate, and to shake off any rust having spent 2022 not racing. And all of this combined with the fact that it'll only have 1.5 days testing in the McLaren 2023 car before the season starts. None of this is revolutionary though. Any driver move has the potential to succeed or fail depending on the individual in question and the circumstances around it. Nothing is a sure thing in F1. Ricciardo's stint at McLaren is a very obvious and relevant example of that. So no, this is not the simplest set of circumstances for Piastri to make his debut. But this is F1. When is it ever really simple? McLaren was willing to proceed because the risk-to-reward ratio was perfectly acceptable and the upside of Piastri, it believes, is extremely high. His junior single-seater record is up there with the very best, with a hat trick of series titles from Formula Renault, Formula 3, and Formula 2. He is the most impressive talent to emerge from the feeder series in at least the last 3 seasons. Seidel said he was clearly very special, and the more McLaren has dealt with him, the more convinced it has been. Piastri will not go into the preseason testing completely cold, though. He was driving McLaren's 21 car towards the end of the 22 season, and there was talk of more private winter tests in the old car being lined up as well. More significantly, though, he got behind the wheel of the 2022 car in the postseason Abu Dhabi test after McLaren cleared his formal release from Alpine. That enabled him to experience the current generation McLaren and work more closely with the team he'll be around at Grand Prix next year. Plus, this was an early chance to compare notes with Norris and to judge how Piastri handled the demands of the MCL 36. Lando is undoubtedly the superior driver over 2 seasons alongside Ricciardo, and his comprehensive victory in the teammate battle obviously played a part in McLaren deciding that it needed a new driver. But given Norris is operating at such a high level and is well embedded within the team, Piastri could hardly have a tougher benchmark. McLaren sees it as a good thing, though. New team principal Andrea Stella has said Norris will become a frame of reference for Oscar as well, and this is in terms of not only Oscar's performance himself, but also understanding the car. Having said that, the journey we want to take with Oscar is also an independent journey. He's certainly very talented, and we want him to use his references from the car, references even from what we learned with Daniel and so on. We are quite adamant that he will have enough talent, process, intelligence to find his own way, taking advantage of those references. Piastri has long displayed impressive traits on and off track, and will need to tap into all of them to be a success in F1. He has at least demonstrated the ability to do that effectively in the junior categories. Though McLaren has been sensible to acknowledge that nobody can guarantee this will translate at the top level, Piastri appears to have all the necessary individual components to make himself a formidable performer. This will feed into McLaren's confidence that Piastri will arrive as best prepared as he can by the time of the first Grand Prix. That maximizes the potential for Piastri to quickly show why McLaren puts its faith in him, but it will be crucial not to judge him too quickly or expect too much too soon. CEO Zach Brown was recently quoted as saying, "Let's just lower Oscar in gently. Let's keep our head down. Let's not set expectations." Even though the team is trying to play down expectations, what do you guys think? Will Piastri be up to the task? In the meantime, don't forget to like, subscribe, and don't forget to box for slicks.